Welcome to Mangal Earth, a podcast where our efforts aim to create Mangal on Earth and Earth on Mars, a universe exploring green jobs and blue skies. I'm your host Bhuvan Verma, and with us we have someone very special for you, Lori Mazor, CEO and founder of Synthetivity. Hello, Lori, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. All right, then. So, jumping into our viewers' curiosity, our viewers want to learn from you, Laurie, about your journey from architecture and academia to becoming the CEO of Synthetivity, focusing on generative AI education.
So, as you noticed, I did start my career in architecture and I practiced architecture in New York City for many years. But as all careers evolve, mine evolved to being on the client side. And so that was an opportunity for me to move into universities and to help universities make decisions about planning the future and building new buildings. And again, as technology has evolved, I have also evolved with technology. So technology has always been a part of my business in one way, shape, or form. But the newest iteration of my company, Synthetivity, teaches executives and senior level people who may not have a technical background how to use artificial intelligence in their day-to-day activities.
Thank you so much for detailing how this progression, this graduated step has happened, and how you've helped senior leadership understand more about generative AI. And taking my cue from there, your teaching career and your experience in developing curricula for esteemed institutions, how do you see the integration of generative AI impacting education, workforce development, and business operations?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think that everybody is going to have the ability to have breadth as well as to have depth. Up until this point, education has really focused on helping us to each become experts in a specific domain. Particularly if you adopt a profession, you're a doctor or a lawyer. And I think what I love about generative AI is it allows us to be a little bit good at a lot of things and then to really expand our horizons. So I can be a fashion designer, a musician, an artist, a business person, right? And the boundaries start to disappear.
And Laurie, I must congratulate you on your recent publication. You've just published a ready reckoner for transformative impact of generative AI on creativity. Tell our viewers, what key insights or revelations do you convey through your book?
Absolutely. Well, I think for me, the biggest revelation was really in learning how we teach machines to be creative. And this can feel like a very threatening thing for people who make their livelihood in creative businesses. But for me, it was a real eye opener because I've been engaged in the creative process a long time. And what I have learned is that it's not just about novelty, which is usually how we measure creativity. It's also about precision, repetition, learning, negotiation, sometimes improvising, and sometimes saying yes when somebody tells you no. And so all of those things are really built into a metric in AI, which we call temperature. It's like a damper. It allows you to open up the field of knowledge and inquiry to siphon randomness or to hatchet it down to get precision.
Laurie, you are a celebrated multimedia artist and you balance your creative pursuits with your leadership roles at Synthetivity and the AI education space. How does your background in architecture influence your approach to technology and innovation?
So I think when you learn a design profession, what you really do is you learn how to think critically about the world and how to tell stories. We tell stories with buildings. And so now I can tell all kinds of stories. I can tell stories about data in a business context. I can tell stories about world events through music. And so I really focus on the key human, what I think is the key human act of storytelling and connecting meaning with other human beings, and then using the tools that we have at our disposal to tell those stories.
Absolutely. Viewers, I hope you are taking notes, and if not, then at least remember storytelling is the way how Homo sapiens have been, become what they have become. Telling stories of compassion, leadership, innovation is how we inspire each other. Thank you, Laurie, for simplifying this fact of how generative AI helps us create newer ideas and communications through storytelling. Okay, Laurie, to my next question to you, there is an urgent need for new architectures in generative AI, and we all understand that. But what we want to learn from you is how do you envision these new architectures shaping the future of AI development and applications?
Absolutely. I think we are starting to see the architectures of AI divide into, I'll say, two polarities and then one potential way of unifying them. I think first we're seeing the potential of large language models, large vision models, right? Perhaps bigger is better. And statistically, that could prove to be true. And so that's a bit of a moonshot, and we wait to see whether or not we can reach some level of superintelligence. But on the practical side, other scientists are finding that small models and looking at some of the things that maybe we overlook, like how the brains of worms work, is really the key to being able to drive performance and precision and a learning model. And then in the middle, it's really about teaching these models how to understand the world in the way that a child does, which is our five full senses.
Wow. Thank you so much, Laurie, for sharing the way forward. Thank you, viewers, for sharing this video with your partners and peers and subscribing to Mangal Earth. Keep learning and supporting our guests' efforts. Till next episode, namaste.